Hey guys, man, what an absolutely crazy week we've been having, right? I mean, in the middle of a pandemic, which none of us have ever seen before, the world in various stages of lockdown, we get hit with this tragic killing of George Floyd on the back of already tense um, white on black racist kind of raising its ugly head again. And and this is not a direct commentary on that. I mean, a lot of people much more eloquent than I am have said a lot of good things already about this, but this is just a few of my reflections that are really things that I want to tell you, my friends. Um, so if you don't know me, this isn't for you. But I would love to pick up the phone and have this discussion with every single one of you, but that's just not going to be possible because I know a lot of people. Um, these are just some of my reflections on what's been happening this week, and and so I hope you'll give me a few moments just to share them with you. The first one is, and let me be clear, this is about Black Lives Matter. You might say, well, Dorian, you're a pastor, you're a CEO of a managing director of a company. I mean, surely all lives matter, and of course, all lives matter. But I don't want to dilute what's happening now by pretending that I'm going to make this about all lives matter, because the truth is, right now, the risk on my life as a white person is very different from the risk of a friend of mine who's black. And so let's fix the injustice between a white life that matters and a black life that matters, and let's get them more equal. And then hopefully we can get to the place where all lives matter. So I'm going to unashamedly just make this about what it is, that Black Lives Matter. So I've interacted with many of you this week, listening mostly. And there's two things that have just struck me about my black friends, things that I just want to honor in you and reflect on. The first one is this, that as hard as I was processing what has happened over the last week, and my family have been saddened and disgusted and concerned, and it's taken a lot of family discussion time. When I was discussing this with some of my black friends, I realized something which I should have known all along, is that as hard as it has been for us, it has been infinitely more difficult for you. And I want to recognize that firstly, because, I mean, for you, you are part of that group of people. You're part of the group of people that are being victimized here. And I just want to let you know that I understand that, and I see that, and I'm sorry for that. For me, it was a disgust. For you, it was so much closer to home, and it shouldn't be. And then the second thing that's just struck me with many of my interactions with my black friends this week is this, that I've been struck by how careful you've been to retain that moral high ground, not out of feeling superior, but just realizing that this battle is not against flesh and blood. Realizing that this battle is not about, it's not going to be won out there on the street, but realizing that this battle is going to be won in the spirit. And the way you've responded in love, you've retained that moral high ground. You have the moral high ground. And I just want to honor you for not allowing the enemy to move you from there. And I just want to say I appreciate the love with which you've reached out to me and people like me. Having said that, as your white friend, I want to encourage you to please feel free to be honest with me. I'm not going to be much of a friend if you have to pretend. I honor you for taking the moral high road, but I want to encourage you, be honest with me. If you're feeling fearful, please tell me. If you're feeling frustrated, please tell me. If you're feeling sad or angry, I want to know, because only if we're honest with each other can we work with that? And so as your white friend, I want to say to you, I'd like to be there for you, and I'd like you to be transparent with me. And I hope I can be the kind of friend that gives you the comfort to be able to be transparent. And then secondly, as your white friend, I want to say this. Sometimes in my mind I've been saying, but it's not necessary. People know, but I want to be very clear. I want you to know that what's happening is not okay. It's not okay. And I want to encourage my other white friends to join me, to say, guys, it's not okay. When I look at the Word of God, there is always a greater responsibility on the oppressor, not the oppressed. On the perpetrator, not on the victim. On the one who is strong, not on the one who is weak. And I want to just say to my white friends, guys, let's face it, right now, we are the haves, not the have-nots. And there is a greater responsibility in our hands to stand up right now and say, this is not okay. We're not going to stand for this. Because even though, I guess most of you like me have never physically done anything like this, but we are part of the group that is responsible. And more of us need to be standing up and saying, this is not okay. So, long story short, it's taken longer than I thought this would, but if you're still with me, I want to just say to you, to my friends, to my colleagues, I understand. Well, I think I understand. I think I'm gaining a greater understanding. Please continue to love me, continue to love us, continue to hold that moral high ground, but be real. Be honest with us, because I'd like to be that kind of a friend. And if there's any other way that you know that I can say this louder and more clearly, that this is not okay, then I'm going to try and do that. So thank you. Thank you once again. And I just pray and trust that together we're going to be able to live the way God intended us to live, in a way that together we make these things as important to each of us, regardless of whether they directly impact our lives or not. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening.